Welcome, everybody, to CBSI Presents Tales from the Flipside, episode 116. I am Brian. I'm here with all the boys, and it's hitting 104 degrees out here in Phoenix already, and life is starting to take a shit. Introduce yourselves.
Deno. You see me on every night pretty much now, so that's about it. Well, not for a while after this week. This will be my last show for a little bit. So
the club is shutting down for some remodeling.
Yes, a lot of remodeling.
Some cribs and some baby bottles and some of that stuff. That's all right.
That day's
Jon Z from the not baby joining the family side of things. Excited to be here. Looking forward to a good show, man.
Yeah, P-Dub's here. Got my quarantine cut. Courtesy of my wife yesterday, so it all went well. That's all I really got. I gotta admit,
you should have videotaped that. I mean, I'm sure that was worthy content.
Yeah, you'd altered stone. It's all good.
Fair enough.
And joining us again.
Yeah, I'm Nico, your new Flipside correspondent. I couldn't get laid in a whorehouse with a fistful of $100 bills.
Wow.
That's 6 foot rule, man.
No, 14 times, brother.
I heard what? Do you want to know how you meet the ladies? You talk to the man next to you because he has machismo.
Oh, man. All right. Must be the jacket.
Lots of machismo in that guy.
Makes sense.
The jacket.
Yeah. The Walmart jacket.
And the sneakers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Right. You gotta
have machismo to pull off that look.
I was gonna be mad.
Yeah, the upgraded version with the Jim Beam.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah. I mean,
it brings all the boys to the yard.
Very few men can pull that off, but that guy next to you is that guy.
I'm just getting ready for the bars to reopen. I'm gonna swipe it.
Oh God!
All those moms out there, all pent up.
It's been fun, this whole quarantine process, hasn't it? What's going on with the quarantine in your guys' states? Like, I know Deno's out there in Michigan where everybody hates their governor. So
the murder state. Now, she did relax. She relaxed the restrictions. I can get some damn seeds because everybody's bitching about how they couldn't plant their garden in snowy 30-degree weather. So I can get on my boat. I can go up north. What else? I guess you're gonna do some more restrictions. Lifting some restrictions tomorrow, I hear. So
I love that the home of the Michigan militia, the guys that want to live in their homes and be ready for months, are the guys that don't want to stay home.
Oh,
what is going on?
I mean, I don't want to get political. Just, I didn't know AR-15s at the Capitol meant they had to defend themselves from COVID. I don't know. I guess COVID can't get bullets.
It's because everybody wants to do what they can't. That's as soon as you can't do it, you want to do it.
I know.
Oppositional defiance disorder. I'm going to start using that with young women. I'm going to be like, you can't have sex with me.
That sounds like a Downset song.
I have learned that my life was pretty freaking boring before because all I do is go to work anyways.
Yeah, but every introvert's loving this, but every extrovert is like losing their mind.
The only thing I'm not doing is driving kids back and forth to swimming and dance and stuff. It's like I just got a vacation.
Yeah, I'm not drinking any more. I'm not drinking any less. Like nothing's changed.
Oh, maybe a tad more.
I heard I'm not drinking anymore, and I was like, huh?
Well, I'm podcasting more, and those two go together a little bit. So,
well, what do you say we get into pickups today, there, boys?
Oh, I got a bunch today.
All right, I got a couple here.
Don't blow you up. I got you. Go ahead.
All right, so we got some card fun. I've got. Bowman Jumbo from 2018. This has got the Luis Robert first Bowman card. First Bowman auto is in here. I believe most of them are redemptions, but the redemption just ended last month, so I don't see why Topps wouldn't still be okay with sending those out. So this will be some fun. We're gonna open these up to some of the gold crew on the Discord server. And then We've also got the 2018 Topps Chrome jumbo packs, 5 autographs per box. This has the Ronald Acuna rookie, the Gleyber Torres rookie. It has no Juan Soto. The Soto is in here, but everybody else is. Walker Buehler, Jack Flaherty. A lot of guys are in this. So this could be fun. It'd be nice to pull out some Acuna and autos and some Gleyber Torres autos. It's also got the guy on the box, Shohei Ohtani rookies. Pull some of those autos. So this is nice. It's 5 autographs per box, and it is.
Did we open that? No, we opened up 2019. Me and you.
Yeah. This is 13 cards per pack, which normally in Topps Chrome it's only 4 cards per pack. So jumbos are 13 cards per pack, and there is, I'm not sure how many packs per box, but 12 packs. So 12 packs, 13 cards per pack. So I have 5 or 6 of these. So these will be going on for breaks also. And then I finally got this bad boy in, this cool articulating arm thing. So last night I hooked up my setup for comics upstairs. I had to, bring everything up there. I got a shitty laptop up there, so I'm hoping tonight, sometime after the show, depending on how tired I am. It's been a long fucking day. But we'll maybe check out some comics in that collection and let the crew on the Discord server kind of get the first look, and then we'll probably try to go live on YouTube with them and maybe do a little advertising on some Instagram and stuff and drum up a little bit of viewership, and then try to start our very first little Flipside live auction stuff. So we'll see what we can do.
It's your little Jarvis arm.
Yeah. I mean, this thing's badass, dude. Like,
you better not sell anything I want.
Hey man, hey, get your own play, no shit. Okay,
I drive a Dodge Stratus.
I hope Stein comes on. I want to show his card picks he sent us this week, man. Those were amazing.
I want to talk to him about that. Those were so amazing.
That was like that was like the comic dungeon dig, except bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see. That's what I'm talking about. There's warehouses out there that are like that. There's places, there's little I was telling Deno, how many of those places in the Midwest where they used to have like little general stores on their property, like they would own like a farm and they would have a little general store that was like a house that they built and they turned it into a general store. And a lot of those people, when they shut them down, they just turned off the lights. I mean, they left everything in there. And there's people that are going in there and finding old school, 86, 87 Fleer basketball boxes and shit like that. So I wouldn't be surprised. That is it for me.
I have nothing.
Well, that's
I'm gonna have the greatest pickup ever next week. So
hope it comes out of the stash.
Dude, I hope so too. I told him who the law is right off the bat. Who is the law going to be? They got around here. We'll see.
All right, Paul, you want to go?
Yeah, I just got one. I bet on this last week. We were talking about something. I don't know, but picked up Mirage TMNT number 31 and a 9.6. I used to hate this cover. I just didn't like the art. It was grown on me, and there was a 9/8 set of the 3 issues. And this story is called Soul's Winter, and it's issues 31, 35 is the second one, and then they finished it up in 36. And I just liked it, so I just got that for PC. I didn't really care if it wasn't a 9.8, so I'm debating if I want to build a 9.6 set. And I have
make your OCD go.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I got the IDW released back a couple years ago, that a set of it, but it's in color. Let's see if I can ship something from that first issue.
Dude, your quarantine haircut looks exceptional.
I was about to say, man.
I let your wife cut my hair. Jesus.
Yeah, it's just the art style. Didn't catch me back when. I didn't like the cover. Kind of reading the story was hard for me for some reason, but it grew on me. But thanks, yeah, she did. She did a good job in my hair.
You know what's funny? Paul said his wife cut it, but he actually went to the barber shop and actually got a private cut somehow.
Guys, I got a podcast tonight. Can you open up just for me?
I gotta look good. The rest of us are investing in hats.
Come on, I've had a hat for like day one, man.
Yeah.
But that's all I got.
Did you ever get that 9.8 I sent you, that TMT third print? Remember that one with April O'Neil that you've been looking for like 20 years? Remember that? The CGT 9.8. It was or was it a second print?
I think he picked it up a while ago. I kind of remember it.
No, the Grail book?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you sent it to me? What are you talking about?
I sent it to you. You're like, oh, I can't do it right now. What is it? What's your Grail book?
It was like $300. You bought that off eBay and sent it to me? No, you didn't.
No.
Get out of
You used some of your stimulus money.
Yeah, I know. It's gone now, though.
You should have bought that book. Is it still on eBay?
No.
That's how he got the haircut.
I was just about to say, haircut and a shave? No shave?
That would be a Paul's problem, though, if he actually... He'd be like, yeah, I went and got a haircut for $300.
You and John Edwards.
Yeah.
I got no pickups.
No pickups?
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
Yeah.
No, I bought a book from Australia. It hasn't got here yet. It hasn't even shipped yet.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. That I know what it is. All right. Well, I can keep us going for a little while because I had a bunch of stuff arrive. It's not everything that I have kind of floating through the postal system, but a lot. First one was I don't think I still have it. I showed a Spirit comic the other day with the red dress cover.
I've been waiting for this.
So, damn it, I gotta find that then. It's not the same red dress you're thinking of. I should frick. So many books on my desk from all these shows. But I found somebody selling a Mexican lot of the Spirit, and these are just they're fine. Nothing crazy on the cover, but for $5 a pop, I bought them.
Oh, that's a great cover. That one you just, I love that cover right there.
Yeah, and they look really clean. There's a few little tears and stuff, but they are really, for as old as they are and being Mexican, they're nice.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
I think Spirit is so underrated.
I agree.
God, I gotta show Nico, but I don't know where it's at, so I may have to dig that out after I show this one. But we had decided that I think it was stolen from this one, which is
okay.
The original 23. Now 22 is the monster, but 23 is this one, and then the one that I showed the other week is, I think, a redraw or kind of a reimagining of this guy. I've seen a couple of these pop up. I've never seen them actually sell. There's a couple listed for a few $100 on eBay floating around. For $5 on this one, I was like, yes, I will take it. Very nice. It's deep covers. There is a small, let's call it a half-inch tear right there. But other than that, it is a gorgeous copy of, I don't know, I gotta say, 60s Mexican freaking Spirit. So I will take that.
Yeah, that's sweet. There's the nurse. It's like 21, 22, 23. The woman in the red dress, and that one, which I always called the dagger one, but I don't know.
Yeah. God, I will find the other one once I'm done here and show you, just because you will appreciate it. There's a seller I follow that has had a lot of shark books I liked, and I was waiting for a reason to buy. And I've already shown him, so it's not spoiling it. But for our friend Ben C, I picked up a couple of Mexican Peanuts comics.
Nice. Very cool.
So because of those, I've had some stuff on my watch list. This is not a shark cover, but I have the American. It's just been one of those. It's actually Korok, son of Tarzan, the original. But this cover has always just amused me with the giant, Japanese dragon thing. So I got it. I'm like, well, maybe I'm building a set of that. But I picked up some shark covers along the way, and these are just nuts.
Wow.
My 7-year-old's like, oh God. Look at this Tarzan just mauling this shark.
Man, you never know how many covers exist of something until you start looking.
I will, spoil it for the audience. I do think I promised him that on Wednesday on my day off, I would do a recording for his top 10 shark covers in his collection. So
That'd be
if
great.
you'd like to see my 7-year-old's favorite shark covers. Check it out. Who cares?
Yes.
It'll be amusing if nothing else. You may see some randomness. Then I had a couple comic link books. I think I've talked about them but not shown them. I've got this Batman 436, which was the Tim Drake first appearance origin retold, but it's triple signed by Wolfman, Perez, and Beatty. So
Damn.
I don't have a Perez signature, and for what I picked up, it's also the second print green logo. That's why I got it.
Oh, wow.
You just don't see many of those, and especially in a decent grade and with the signatures, I'm like, I don't have a Perez, I may as well grab it because I do like a good Tim Drake book. So because Red Hood sucks.
I like your shirt, by the way. I think it's hilarious.
Well, if you live in the city of 150 roundabouts, you better like them.
Yeah, they're sprouting up around here everywhere too. Stupid.
Once you get them, you'll like them.
I'm used to it by now. Just
also picked up New England Comic Newsletter 15. This is the second appearance of the Tick. This was Ulrud's home store, their shop newsletter, and it was just a character that he started drawing in the newsletter. So this is the second issue. Picked it up really, really cheap. It's actually got a cracked case, but I don't really care for the price I picked it up. I may just take it out and leave it in the CGC Mylar. And the big boy of that auction was this guy, number 14. The first ever appearance of the Tick. So adding this to my collection, I think I've closed out everything I want. I would like a black 9/8 cover, but I don't know that I'll find one. There's only 3 or 4 last I looked, and they just don't come for sale.
You almost missed that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't see it. So this was one several of the guys messaged me about half hour before it goes, like, Z, what are you doing? What are you doing? And about 10 minutes before it, I caught it and bid. It's only a 4.0, but I mean, this is literally a newsletter for a comic shop. There are a handful of nice ones, but there are $3,000.
So rare.
I'm so happy you got one.
Yeah. So this was more just being able to say I got one and move on. Mm-hmm. Buying a 9.6 of this to me is not something I want to spend $3,000 on. So to get this and see right here on the corner is the first image of the Tick.
Wow.
I mean, honestly, I hate to say it, for a 9.6 for $3,000 isn't that bad, I would think, right? I mean,
no, it's not. It's just not something I want to put my money in. This is more of a fan,
and it's a niche thing if you wanted to sell it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, the Tick has had several shows, several cartoons. I buy the original art, but I buy it cheap. This is me enjoying something. This is not me thinking it's going to be
the next big
what
thing.
I sell to, pay
By
for
the way,
college.
can you hold that up, John, again?
Yeah.
By the way, for all of you Marvel 25th anniversary fans that want to chase those homages, welcome to my nightmare.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that. It does have the Marvel 25th border.
John, why would you even want to take the other one out of the case and leave it in the Mylar because it's cracked? It sounds like something I would do.
It's got a giant chunk out of it.
So?
I don't know. It's actually just got some serious points. And
hey, you listen to the new Paul here, okay? You listen to the new Paul.
It's also a magazine size, so it doesn't fit in anything. I don't know. I haven't decided.
You're gonna take it out, and then it's gonna end up getting bent in half or something, and you're gonna have a Z's problem.
Oh God!
Just re-slab it, man.
Did I just get out logic by Paul?
Yep.
Oh hell! I should go to bed now.
Is that the last of your pickups?
That's it for tonight. I got some cool books I think will be here next week.
That's awesome.
I was expecting like
the Paratrooper from Brazil.
Yep.
Next week. I think it's coming Wednesday.
Oh boy.
Good. All right. We've got actually some decent news this week.
Did we skip Nico?
No, he didn't
No
have
books.
it.
No books.
I'm not listening, sir.
Okay, we're back to regular Paul now.
Hey, it's coming first, guys.
It's like Will Ferrell when he does that debate thing.
We need to get that gift.
Like a live wire on the ground. Sometimes it sparks, sometimes it just sits there. You never know.
Interesting new dates. Is this what this is? This is new dates for everything. What are we getting all hyped for about this?
Shout out to Peter Renna.
Yeah, definitely. Peter did some nice work on this, but
he did.
They just pushed everything back because they're not going to release it.
Of course they're not.
Screen.
Yeah, of course they're not.
So they just pushed everything back. Pretty significant chunks for some of them.
Yeah. So what I suggest for people, and I've been trying to do more of it, is to encourage people to take screenshots of things for reference on their phone. This would be one of the things I would take a screenshot of.
Great idea.
For my purposes, I tend to buy and sell books, corresponding to the release of television and film projects that I'm going to sell. Right. So, that kind of pattern has changed over time. But for me, like, COVID has pressed the restart button on all of Marvel Phase 4, Phase 5 book buying for me.
Yeah, big time.
Like, I can go back to square one and still catch a trailer, still catch a casting, still catch, you know what I mean? And catch those spikes down the road.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, wasn't there, we see Fantastic Four on there. Wasn't there some rumored shots of Krasinski, walking into Marvel Studios or something, talking about playing some major role?
I think that's been a rumor for years and years. So
no, I mean, like, they actually got it. I mean, like, it's coming to fruition now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it was like what's the one for reverse logic? Basically, he did a formal denial, which people interpreted as a formal confirmation that he was at least in talks about it. And we know that Emily Blunt had, at least according to trusted insiders, gone in and spoke to Marvel executives about potentially playing Cersei.
Which would be dope. I'm a fan of Emily Blunt, man. I think she's badass. I saw her in what was that Tom Cruise movie she was in? That was one of the baddest movies ever, and she was a badass in that shit. So I'm all for Emily Blunt.
No, there's a slight typo. Our buddy typed out the Thor has got 2021, not 2022.
Okay, we can fix that.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Is that my friend TJ?
My friend TJ.
My friend TJ from our talks in Baltimore with our friend the wrestler. That TJ.
Yeah, no, this is my friend TJ.
Oh, that's your friend TJ?
Yeah.
All right.
I think there's only like 5 of these movies that I'm actually excited for. I don't know. I'll probably see them all, but I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I've been excited since most of these. I mean, they've already talked about forever, right? It's just important to have we finally got some new dates because of this COVID bullshit. But I think I've been excited the most for the Doctor Strange multiverse stuff.
It could, depending how it goes, that could be good. I'll watch Thor all day long because he just does a fantastic job. Black Panther 2 will probably be great because they just knocked that one out of the park. Eternals to me is a worrisome shit show, but it could be Guardians. Who knows?
I like Spider-Man.
Let's talk about this. All right. So what do you guys think is the best to spec on, and what are some of the books that you think are the reasons that it's the best?
Oh, God, are there any books left?
That's my problem. That's my problem is I feel like there's no books left to do that. And
if you're speccing, truly the Untitled Spider-Man is probably the most interesting because who's going to pop up in that?
Yeah. Or Black Panther.
Black Panther, maybe.
Well, Black Panther's probably Submariner. I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean.
We've been hearing that for years.
That would be huge. That would be awesome.
I don't know who else we're specking on. I mean, Nova's in the
I'm a Tomb of Dracula 1 guy, but
Ooh.
even that book's tough. I think you're going to see Dracula be the big bad in Blade.
But we've already seen, I don't know. The other Blade, we've already seen it. I just don't think
they did a terrible job in the other Blade.
It would have to be fantastic for Dracula to be.
But Mahershala Ali is going to carry that movie in a big way. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no question about it. And I think it will be the vampire story to define a generation simply because of him. I don't think he'll settle for less.
He's a great actor.
I'm bullish on Tomb 1. Now, I say that and I don't have any copies. And this is what I generally do. I'll run my mouth and, people will start buying them and I won't buy them. And then the price will go up higher. And I'm just like, son of a bitch.
I got one. You want one? I got one.
Please.
Okay. Perfect. There you go. You got one now.
What?
Tomb of Dracula 1. I think I got one down. I think I got one in the back there somewhere. I
only have one Tomb of Dracula 1, but it's my. I got it signed by Neil one time at a comic shop just because I was looking for something that he had done that I wanted signed.
I think a 9.6 goes around $2,000. The VF copies are far, far, far more reasonable. But it's much like Blade. Like, at what point can you possibly get in at Blade? Like, before the announcement, you could get a 9.6 for like $5,000. Now that'll run you $10.
$20. Me and Z, remember that? That was our first Indiana days.
Oh yeah,
we had Tomb of Dracula for like $20 and $40 all day. It was crazy.
It was cheap, so cheap.
Well, what about maybe some books like that might in the future might get some play off of some of these characters that people aren't talking about? I mean, I know people always talk about that Legion of Monsters book, but
it's a good long-term play. But I mean, that's going to be 2025. Maybe longer. Yeah. I mean, you got to get Ghost Rider back in the world. Hayes is like start with Submariner because
I like his
Golden Age Submariner. Yeah,
but they're not cheap. But I'm with him. I'd rather pick up a Golden Age Submariner book than a Submariner 1 Silver Age that's overpriced.
Yeah, I mean the Fantastic Four book is a solid buy. Submariner 1 to me.
Oh, that FF4 is expensive though.
It went from being the most undervalued Marvel #1 to the most overvalued in no time.
100% agree.
Like at that point, you should buy it, Marvel or Submariner Iron Man 1 or some of the Tales of Suspense. I mean, it's just not.
I think
not
some
a
of those
book at all.
Some of those Submariner Iron Man books are some really nice covers, and it would be some cool spec. But
First Appearance of ShangChi is super cheap.
Yes.
compared to what it was 6 months ago. Which I find to be kind of interesting, but I don't know that it wasn't super overpriced 6 months ago.
It's also the scariest movie on that plate to me. I mean, we saw how bad Iron Fist went. You've got to have a hell of a story, a hell of a vision to make it like a Marvel movie to me.
Mandarin's first appearance, the Strange Tales 50, is expensive at the bottom end, but you can get nice copies for a relatively, decent rate. I want to say you can get like a 7.0 for a little more than $500 now on eBay. The Eternals book, one of the ones that I didn't put on the list of books from live auctions, I guess we're going to talk about a little bit later, is the Eternals 1 price variant. There was a 9.2 that went off at a pretty reasonable price. Comparatively, those are cheap. For what they once were, but still super expensive compared to the regular one. The like a 9.6 of Eternals 1 is down to like 3.25, maybe less. That used to be like a 400 plus book, and that's in buy it nows. Hell, I got one up in a live auction now just to get rid of it. No reserve, live auction.
So Solo Wookie goes back and he mentioned, and this is Crossing Pass. I mean, Dr. Doom is always a good book. I don't think that book's ever going down, but to buy into it's tough. He mentions Carnage, which is the Sony verse. I can't imagine Carnage getting hotter, honestly. I mean, that book just keeps defying logic to me of how high it is, and I would not put money in it right now. I just couldn't. I couldn't in good conscience do it unless you're buying them at 2 years ago prices. At current prices, I couldn't do it. FF12 is an interesting one with the Thing Hulk thing. I mean, we've seen scenes like the Cap and the Hammer cause a spike, so that is an interesting play.
Yeah, TJ Timebomb talked about Marvel Superheroes 20, the Doom cover. You and I have talked about the Marvel Superheroes Black Knight cover. It went nowhere. I like all of those because they're square bounds and they're cover buys. And, I liked the Black Knight because the 48 was super high. I thought it was kind of a cheap buy-in at the time, but it's gone nowhere. We know Black Knight's going to lead the Eternals film. I mean,
that's so crazy to me.
But it went from an obscure book to hot, and I just don't know that it's. I mean,
well, and I loved the Golden Age Black Knight 3.
Yes,
the number 3 cover that's got like the
lance,
the mace or whatever.
Yeah.
I always thought that was a great book, and it's gone nowhere. While the 1 has just gone sky high. But the 3 was popular with like traditional Golden Age collectors, and now nobody cares.
Yeah. Fordham mentions Fing Fang Foom. To me, that's a scary spec. I mean, best case, he's going to show up as just I think Galactus in the original Fantastic Four, a villain that's going to pop in for a bit at the end and be like, eh.
We had a very nice Foom. It took us a while to sell that, man.
It's a tough.
You had a nice one?
Yep. I mean, like,
that's a rare book, dude. I never see them in any condition, let alone in nice condition. That's awesome.
We had a
free.
Fuck. We hit. I don't even know. It was like, what was it, 4.5 or 5? Maybe I can't remember. Maybe it was a 6. I don't know. It was insane. We got it for cheap, and
nice.
We flipped it like years ago. Like it just was years ago. I mean, this was Fing Fang Foom wasn't even a thought on anybody's mind. I mean,
that's still super awesome.
Got a little spec there for a little bit when there was rumors. He had some rumors of something.
No.
Yeah, and then the toy helped him a lot. The crossover collectors.
Yes.
I can actually probably find it if.
Remember 12 to 18 months ago when Marvel spec was easy and a no-brainer?
Yeah. Well,
got hard. Real quick.
Those days are gone. Maybe I didn't put it on here. Oh, it was an F. I'm sorry. It was a VG minus. I sold it for $445 back in 2018. So, I mean, VG, I mean, whatever. I mean,
I almost bought one for more than that price. That if they would have given me a 1.8, I would have been happy. It was so whacked. And the only reason I probably passed on it was because it was my buddy's book, and I thought I'd get a chance at it later.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's tough to find. Cool book.
I get. We always talk about this every episode. I just get jaded how prices are just inflated on everything. It's like, back in the day, me and Z were picking up books for cheap. Now everything's super expensive, and like any mention of anything skyrockets any book now. It's.
But is that a good thing? I mean, we talk about this all the time. I know, but is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, people are making money.
Well, I'm like Stein, dude. I don't list books. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I used to, but I don't for personal books now. I don't even list books anymore. It's like, I mean, same thing with baseball cards. I got so many baseball cards. I got so many Vladdy Guerrero Juniors and Pete Alonso's. Like, I got them stacked up for days, and I don't sell anything now. It just
I just don't. It's not that I don't speculate. I just don't play the same game I did long ago. I'm now more focused on long-term books that I think will hold value indefinitely and things I think have a lot of upside versus playing the small, the gambling on every potential character that ever show up.
Trying to make 20% and losing, 8 out of 10 plays. Yeah, it sounds horrible.
Correct. You guys can laugh all you want at the foreigns, the westerns, or whatever I played. I like to play the outside market. I like to play the things that are not that everybody's not looking at, man. Because
you're on the roulette wheel. You're playing the Paul Dove's roulette wheel. Everybody else is playing numbers, and you're playing on the outside, trying to get some. I mean, It works.
It's also just I don't know there's so much competition on a Marvel book that hits. If you're not in the first 50 sales on eBay, man, the undercutting goes so fast.
The undercutter wave.
Yeah,
And
I think I sold a What If pen after the news hit 9.8 for like $1,200 or something crazy. You know what I mean? It was just like had it, dumped it quick. But like if you're not holding that book all ready to sell immediately, it's like you can't. You got no shot.
And you got to be fast. Like you can't
Super
play
fast.
you can't play the let me wait and see what happened. No, you got to pull that trigger, and it's just it's a tough game. And I've found I'm better at other games.
This is a great point right here. Big shout out to TJ Timebomb on that point right there. I think it's harder to get deals now because people on both sides of the counter are armed with the same info. I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but that's a big point. I mean, there are a lot of people out there, you hand them a book, and the first thing they do, what do? They look up on eBay and see what it's going for.
Well, I tell you what, I don't play that game, and the books I buy, very few are you going to find on Key Fucking Collector.
Yeah, I like to buy books that you can't find on eBay because they're so goddamn rare. Good luck, they don't come to market.
Yes. Can I sidetrack us just to show you the book that I wanted to highlight earlier? Will you
please
pop me up the screen? Because I've been talking about it. And he's like, I had not seen it. So here's the one I mentioned, or we showed earlier. This is the one that does not have a corresponding U.S. cover.
That's fucking cool.
It's a redraw of and look at the waist.
Did Eisner draw that? Who drew that?
This is the original one that is in the Spirit run, so it's got to be an Eisner. This has got to be a Mexican redraw.
Yeah, who drew that?
Who. Dude, I don't know. They don't credit.
He's like the best Eisner copycat of the 1960s.
It's actually a more detailed drawing.
The waist almost looks the same size. It's just bigger.
It's beautiful. Dude.
It truly was a steal of this general pose, but then they redrew a lot of it, and this is from the background's from another cover, so it's a lot like the non-canon Spidey.
That's a great book.
I just thought I should share it so you could see it.
Yeah, please. Thank you. I was
and again, you won't find that on Key Collector
or on eBay.
You will only find this kind of spec on CBSI Tales from the Flipside because this idiot is buying them.
Nah.
Well, you won't be an idiot when you're laughing at everybody's face when that shit goes nuclear.
Don't worry. I'll be shopping for them too.
You got a couple stuff you wanted me to show off.
So all right. Nico by the numbers with people who can talk books. All right. So these were the coolest auctions I saw this week. I said I was talking to John earlier. I was like, it'd be criminal to not talk about these books. There's so much cool stuff going up. And I figured like the people on the panel will have some real awesome insights because you guys are smarter about comics than me, period. First one, Berger Editorial variant. This book has been listed on eBay a couple different times and like pulled down because I was a bidder on it. I thought the guy or gal was gonna do the same thing this time, so I didn't even try to bid on it. They didn't, and it ended up $732.
Where has it been pulled the last couple times?
eBay.
No, but what number at? Like, did they pulled it early, late?
No, like it would be like at the $500 mark on the last day, and he'd pull it down.
All right, so he needed money and decided to let it ride.
Yeah, there's 63 blue labels total of the Berger variant. Does somebody want to explain what the Berger variant is?
This feels like a job for McClay.
Yeah. Go ahead, McClay. You're on mute. Oh, he's on mute.
Okay. Well,
I'll just read a couple of things to kind of explain. I mean, Nico can explain it, and I'm sure, but this is kind of interesting because this is a great web page for these type of things, and it's recalledcomics.com. We all know about that. And basically, what he writes is, this issue was first planned with an introduction by Karen Berger entitled "The Stuff That Dreams Are Made Of." on the inside front cover and a next issue teaser on the inside back cover. However, according to CBG in February 9th of 1990, DC decided to not use these and instead went for a main print run with Jeanette Kahn Publishorial, quote unquote, that's a weird word, Publishorial. Say that 10 times fast. Anyways, on the inside front cover and an American Cancer Society ad on the inside back cover. But unfortunately, DC omitted the copyright info with the revisions.
Wow.
DC then allegedly asked the printer to print the requisite 5 copies required for copyright using the original Karen Berger introduction, as that had already had the correct copyright information. Things then get a little murky, as it seems that for whatever reason, the printer produced 600 comics instead of 5 and sent these 600 comics to DC. Anecdotally, this was thought to be due to the speed of the press, but the printers often produce press proofs in small quantities, so this is certainly curious. Once the boxes were received by DC, instead of pulping 595 of the comics, they were apparently, according to CBG, sent out for 2 signing sessions that Neil Gaiman was attending in California at Comics Experience in San Francisco and the Outer Limits in Los Angeles. Although the air was spotted at the signings, signed copies of these were still given out to fans, and a number of unsigned copies also made it out to the public. So that's the craziest part, is that for a long time, people only thought signed copies, which the one that sold is a signed copy, right? From the session there. They all look like this, right, Nico?
Yeah, this one was signed to Jesse.
Yeah.
Although, no, there's definitely unsigned copies, too.
Well, for the longest time, I don't think people realized there were unsigned copies, right?
Yeah, right. Hell yeah.
And then they started checking, and they're there. I have been searching for this book for 20 years. 20 years.
You and me both.
And you're on the West Coast. You got an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the people that don't know a lot about Sandman, me and Nico, we were all talking earlier, but for me and Nico, mainly for people in the show, this was a big part of like our comics experience, our growing up experience. Like this book came out. I remember this book and Preacher, and then I was still reading like X-Men on and off. Like those were like the few books that I was reading at the time. I would always read Sandman. I would always read Preacher. You know, those are like the books back that I remember. And if for those of the people that don't know this too, there was a couple more errors in this set, and the other errors were a little bit easier to find. They were just pages that were flipped in the print run, and so they're a little bit easier to find. But man, his book has been just like that nightmare of a book to find forever.
Yeah, and I don't know if we said this. I mean, Death was the character that stole that series and stole the hearts of like young, hopeless comic fans like me. She was like the first emo girl, I think, ever. And this one's just a monster. So cool book. You never see them up. And I suggest anybody who sees the Sandman 8 at on a showroom floor at a convention, big or small, pull it out, take a look and see what's on the inside cover.
Yeah. And you did mention the Death part. Like people don't, this is also the first appearance of Death. I mean, for that character to be such a big part, like Nico said, and this is her first appearance. It's one of those perfect storm books.
Yeah. So a 9.8 in November of 2018 sold for $4,560. A 9.6 in February of this year sold for $1,850.
So this is not a terrible price for a copy, like just to find a copy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because there's so little sales data.
I don't know who Jesse is, but if my name was Jesse, man, I'd be really excited.
Yep. Yeah, that's a monster book. I don't chase a lot of those kind of books, but it's one on my radar that I've just never even come across, and I've kind of given up on even looking. So
I've looked at so many inside covers of these books and never seen one that I'm almost with you there. I'm like, I come across them now, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna look. Like,
I look at
I won't even look.
Is it the blue one?
I found a 75-second print one time, so that's the only thing that gives me hope. Is like, oh, I looked at hundreds of those, and then you found one, and you're like, oh, fudge, there are some. So
Yeah,
it's what keeps us going, man.
What's that?
What were you saying, Dino?
Oh, I found the blue one. Isn't the blue cover? Wasn't the one with the blue? Was it facsimile cover or whatever? Like, was it Sandman one with the blue on the inner pages? Was that one of the errors? Like,
one of the errors is that where they flipped pages on one page. So
I looked for that one, but I mean,
is that 19 or am I thinking a different?
Yeah, I think it is 19.
Yeah, they have one at my local store, but not that one.
I think that's another first appearance too, if I remember correctly.
I think so too.
But yeah, this is a great book. I'm so glad you brought it up, Nico. It's just man, great book. So, all right, let's go on the next one. This one is very interesting.
All right. Yeah, so there's the next two are kind of in tandem. Captain Marvel 17 second print. There's 208 9/8s on the census.
And we all know Coy has them all.
Coy might have them all. A 9/8 sold for $2,000 in January of this year.
Wow, that's a big drop.
That's
a big drop.
This was a book I kicked myself for not buying at $600.
Dude, I got one. I had one at $200, man, and I gave it to Coy. He was CBCS 9/8. I got it for like $200 back in the day.
That was a dumb one, but
this
is a book long term. I still, man, I don't like many new characters. I still like this one.
Well, go to the next one, and I'll tell you the book that you really want.
Yeah, don't talk to me about this book.
I had that book too.
How many 9/8s are on the census?
20?
Less, 18, and there's only 50 total copies on the census.
Do you know who sold the guy one of these? This guy.
Yep.
But I did pick it off a wall for $30 and sold it for $200, and didn't think you could get a 9/8. I had a 9.
I had a 9
impossible 9/8.
Yeah.
And our buddy at Coliseum of Comics did it.
Yeah.
So he got himself a miracle 9/8, and I was proud of him. But damn, that's a beautiful book.
I had a 9/4 or 9/6. It was hard to. If it's not a 9/8, it's hard to turn. You know what I'm saying? Especially at the buy-in if you buy it raw. We bought a raw, and we kind of prayed for a 9/8, and it wasn't gonna get a 9/8, so we flipped it.
Well, here's what's interesting, guys. These auctions aren't like me just pulling random auctions out of my ass. This is the same week. This is this week.
So what's the high on this book? Because I stopped tracking it.
All right. The high on this one was 2,200, but it was way back in 2016.
Yeah.
Wow. This is a beautiful cover. This is not a key book, but man, this is the cover of her run. I mean, Screw some or whatever the hell that is and all that bullshit.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up.
This is the cover.
I saw that some variant, the Kamala Khan, go for like $40 raw the other day. And then a 9.6 or something went for a ridiculous amount. But the raw, like, nobody realized it. I don't think it was there. And I messed up and didn't throw in a snipe bid for it, of course. But
I think, man, if I were, oh, damn it, Rag, are you telling me right now it's ending?
Yep.
Oh, somebody's logging in a comic link while you fuckers talk.
Smart.
But I tell you what, at $1,100 that the
$1,100,
I would have probably bought it because that
me
like
too.
A book that has potential. Too. I mean, very few books I like.
Even though there's 200 copies, it's the first print. It's the first appearance, right?
No,
like
monster.
It predates the Marvel .1. It just does. Hell, it's in the freaking CGC notes that when you look this book up on the census, it tells you that it predates the Marvel .1.
Yeah, and Rag 718, you probably made somebody pissed off that was watching this.
Well,
yeah,
I still can't believe that some of the prices on and I'm surprised at the Kamala Khan.
Oh, he's talking the other book. Okay.
Oh wow, the variants of that?
No, he's talking the 17, but I think that'll jump. But if there was the variant, I'd buy it right now. I'd be in it. I'd buy back in that one too. I'll be watching. I'll let you know if it goes cheap. I'll keep you posted. We're. Oh shit, we might be done. I might have just missed it.
Yeah.
Couldn't have planned this one worse.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, let's
Son
go
of
to
a
the
bitch, didn't it? 11:25, guys.
11:25.
For the 17, not this one.
Wow.
That's a good buy-in, man.
It's an absolute good buy-in. I'd have taken it.
I think this one can hit 2,000 again any day. It would not.
Yeah,
take
well, it will. Yeah, it will.
What's up, Phil Chung? Welcome, man.
Son of a bean. Yeah, it'll go to 2K. I don't know if it'll stay at 2K, but it'll go to 2K for sure.
Brad, couldn't you have been like 3 minutes faster?
For real, bro. I hope you got that book.
Do you think that 2016 sale was the first 9.8 sale? That's why I went so high?
There were a few of them.
No, that's a 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, but still, I mean,
that is a gorgeous cover.
Absolutely. Super low census. Who's buying 50 copies of Miss Marvel #2?
Nobody.
I had a raw book.
It's all fascinating.
The reason I found it was the shop here has 3 locations and they use it as one shop and one account, and they between them ordered 50 probably to stretch goal it.
I had a raw I sold that came back in 9.6 when that person graded it.
Nice.
Well, it's because you gave him a shitty description of it.
No, we had a good trade.
I'm joking. It's a joke.
That's a
what
nice
you sell the raw for?
I don't love many modern variants as far as long-term fucking books. That's one I love.
I traded for some turtle books. It's all good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a smart. Like you said, I mean, who would have known? I mean, yeah. I mean, it's like we talk about the land. Everybody's biggest problems, right? The land variant from Edge of Spider-Verse 2. People were selling for like $100 back in the day, and people thought they were cashing in rich times.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really surprised this character hasn't taken off already, though, in some other medium.
She's a better character to me than.
Was she on the outline? Was Miss Marvel on? No, with this TV show, was it on our outline?
Yeah. Not Kamala Khan, but Miss Marvel 2 is, not the TV show.
I don't know that the show actually has a confirmed
I don't think so either. Yeah.
I think it's a rumor, like a heavy rumor. Maybe it's confirmed, but it's not. It's nowhere.
Let me look on the interwebs while you guys talk.
All right, let's go into this Mystic, this 1940 timely Mystic.
I know you love that one. Huh?
Yeah. Beautiful Schomburg cover.
All right. 16
Man.
copies total on the census.
A married centerfold and trimmed cover.
Wow.
For $1,000. FDR on the cover. Schomburg. What's up?
Yeah, that FDR part's fucking huge.
I don't even have a concept of the value of that book, so
I'll give it to you. Don't worry. Okay, so a 2.
When's the last time one sold first? Start there. What, like 4 years ago?
No, there were 2 2019 sales. You're going to be shocked. A 2.0 and a 2.5 sold in 2019, in April and June of 2019. So in the better copy, the 2.5 in June of 2019 sold for $1,361.
Whoa.
You ready? Just a few months earlier, in April, a 2.0 sold for $2,100. There's 16 copies on the census. I've never seen one trade hands. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen one in person. I've seen them on Instagram. Yeah, they're just like untouchable books. And I don't even understand where those books, the worst part about GPA is it doesn't tell you where the hell it sold. So I just wonder how that happened.
It wasn't on Comic Link. It wasn't on Heritage. And that's the worst thing with GPA. It doesn't show some of these fucking places.
Yeah. But super cool. There's 8 restored copies, 16 blue labels, and who knows?
What's the highest graded?
I want to say, and I don't have the info in front of me. I just made a couple quick notes. I want to say there was like an 8.5 or something crazy. But that the spread was like 1-1-1 up to the top.
I mean, I can look it up. Sorry.
These books are, there are people that live to do these Schomburgs and these Timelies, and whether they're doing runs or characters or, there's so many cross points here between Schomburg, Timely, the series of Mystic.
There was a guy at Charlotte. who wanted all that stuff. He wanted Timely books. He wanted Schomburg books. He wanted like all. I mean, that's not me. I don't have them, but
this is one of those cross books that has so many genre of people looking for it. The political, it just crosses all those things. Little Segu for our friend Mel. If you like this kind of topic, join us on Vintage Voyage on Sunday nights at 9:30.
Yeah, boy.
There you go. There's some numbers. So 8.5, like you said.
Oh, everybody, George.
6.5, 6, 5, and then. So I mean, it's only 16 boys, and there's a couple. Oh, there's restored. I'm gonna say the signature series. So 8 restored ones. There's only 24. That's.
If you've got a Schomburg signature series,
I was like, boy,
I got a broken bridge to sell you.
Yeah, I know, right? So, I saw the column. I'm like, no way, there's 2 signature series out there. I'm like, so
it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, there's a few weird books out there that have signatures that you shouldn't do, but it's like artists like Alan Bellman from the Golden Age has popped up. He recently passed, but there was about 2 years. All of a sudden, he did some signings, and you'll see some Golden Age signature series and do a double take, like what? And it maybe isn't the primary person you're thinking, but it's still like, oh. So
yeah. All right, now this is the one I'm kicking myself in the ass about.
Sorry.
Yeah, I like that one.
Hit
that
Comics
awesome.
number 3. God damn it! I can't believe it sold so cheap. They never sell. There's 13 freaking blue labels total.
God, that's cheap.
I mean, dude, I wanted to puke. I'm just like, I looked at it. It was in my watch categories. I completely forgot about it like a moron. I was busy like watching all my sales come in because I had listed a truckload of books. And then I looked and I'm like, holy shit, that book sold for $436. What the?
It's a good time to be watching the obscure and
dude, these books never sell.
Man.
They never sell.
There's good deals out there right now.
The last time this book sold was in February. It was a 6.5. I don't know where it sold. $2,160.
Wow. You want to hear something? You want to hear something really crazy? What do you think the highest graded this book is?
6.5. Oh, there's a 9.6.
9.6, yeah, 9.6. Can you believe that? Oh boy.
Wow. Well, I mean, I was talking to Scott McManus from the foreign community, and he's also a Golden Age guy. He's like, I just saw 2 copies of the first John Carter of Mars listed. He's like, I haven't seen a copy of that listed anywhere in like 5 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like these show dealers that have these on their walls, they're dropping on eBay because that's their only outlet. I mean, you could sell on IG, but they don't have the built-in market there. They didn't build that market because they didn't need it. They were live salesmen. And now they don't have the online base. So they're going to eBay. They're going to some of these things. Now there's some consigners and some other people that are, helping them with their market presence. But if you're not one that built a website or a
how about
a community, man, dude,
like New Force, right? So like New Force Comics, right? Like he's got everybody at New Force has like the biggest books ever, right? I mean, he doesn't deal with like dollar books, it's like big boy books, but I mean,
oh yeah,
where's the Gator Don't Play?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, give him the Gator Don't Play.
Yeah, New Force, I mean, at Baltimore is like this big swinging dick.
Yeah, and yes. I mean, and they're at that at every show. They were over at Charlotte, and he's got books, and he doesn't really have I will say he doesn't have an online presence, but I mean, he kind of was getting his shot back.
He has his own CGC thing where he just answers questions about comics.
Yeah,
it should be called Gator Don't Play.
Yeah,
but I mean, you've got people like Superworld. Superworld's a great on-person seller, but their website's not great.
Yeah,
they just didn't need it. And
I'm with Deno, dude. New Forces, they're the guys that's just like, I'm like, how do you get those books? They'll have like 5 copies of every Silver Age key, like in high grade.
People come up
every
to
one
him.
Of them.
So my story at Charlotte, this guy, he collects like every Marvel key, and it has to be like 9 into 9s, like giant size X-Men 1, 9.6, 9.8, 9.4. Like this guy had like a lot of, he's gone, he's long gone, but he had like $50,000 in his fucking little duffel bag and about, I don't know, 40 grand in like slabs, and he was just showing to me. He's like, who can I trade with? I said, well, New Force is like big boy, you're looking for big boy stuff, but he's like, he was trying to get books under like GPA, but it was like the guys from New Force. I don't know why. I mean, if somebody offers you, he had like a GSX 198 or something, he wanted 26 grand, and the guy offered him 24, and he said he wouldn't take it. You're over 24 grand. You're not going to lose 2 grand on 24. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the guy was a baller, man. I mean, he had pretty much like, he's like, got that in 9.8, got that in 9.6. I mean, it was ridiculous, the amount of books. And he wasn't just a guy with like a lot of money who didn't know shit. He knew, he looked at books. He knew like everything. He's like, this looks like this. It doesn't, oh, this has a ding. I can't do it. Like he knew his shit, man. The guy was phenomenal.
How painful for some of these sellers though. I mean, look, $436. Like I'd cry. I mean, if you know what you have, I'm assuming this whoever sold this does.
I mean, you'd have listed it as a Lou Fine classic cover, right? I mean,
or like put a reserve on it at least. Something.
But some of these guys are literally selling because they have to sell some books. They live and die on con season. Yep. Their job is traveling town to town 40 some weeks a year,
and they probably don't own a warehouse. Books. They don't own the warehouse or the storage facility or whatever it is. And it's not just like your mom and pop one storage facility. They probably have fucking 50 storage facilities or one big warehouse. It's not cheap, man. I mean, when it's 20 grand a month for warehouse,
These guys are selling some books. They're looking at what's going to be the least painful to them, and they're letting some shit go.
How many people know about this one? Like on the panel, have ever seen it before?
No,
on the panel.
I mean, I haven't, but I mean, the only people who I probably know who would have this book would probably be Dale Roberts, right, Z? Maybe Dale Roberts might have this book. And people like Tony L would be looking for a book like this. Nobody else would be looking for a book like this.
Well, there's people looking, but this is not one that hits my radar. I don't have any passion for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, putting a book on reserve is a terrible method. Nobody bids.
Yeah.
So it's you're list and buy it now, and you're putting a price, or you're letting it fly at auction, man. I don't know that I would use eBay, but
I was about to say, why not eBay like that to Heritage?
I think Heritage has a huge freaking buyer's premium, and
Heritage has a new thing now, right? So they just have I don't know what it's called. It's like Heritage Premium listing, but you can just list your book and they'll take 10%. There's no buyer's premium. It's like only offers and buy it nows. It's not an auction, which is interesting. This book, I see why the guy did it because, and again, just kind of my observation, it's like you almost always get 80% of market in the golden age eBay thing because there's big money in there that's like watching these books that they don't let shit slip through. Now, what slips through are books that are like hot in the golden age market, but like the old big money traditional dealers don't know. So like this slipped through. It was a hot book. I fucked up, painful. The second one I've screwed up and not bought since COVID-19. That Tomb of Terror that I love, I think it went for half of the price tag that the guy offered it to me for. Slipped through. He knew it was a hot book because he's kind of like, on the cutting edge of, what I mean? I think it's like Red Hood or one of those dudes.
Mm-hmm.
But whoever it is that sits out there that on those auctions, that's like, got just stacks of money, kind of like insuring the golden age comic market, like the stock market. Mm-hmm. They rarely let books slide through. So, I mean, if
Golden
it was mine,
Age, guys like Golden Age Guru, all those guys on Instagram that are just crazy. Black Hat Collection. I mean, he's in horror, but still, I mean.
Well, the thing is that when there's so many books coming to the market, we all see it's different. This was the hidden market of the con cycle, and nobody saw the sales data. Those guys don't even want the sales data out there because they don't sell on our market. Like they'll put shit at 50% above GPA, and they're going to sell it at 30% above GPA because they have a customer base that loves coming to see them and buying books from them.
I mean,
and they are now stuck on the playing field with the rest of us, and they're taking a couple lumps because it sucks.
Well, and that's a great point because Tony's probably one of our golden age gurus because he was like the first guy getting into that stuff, and like. We used to buy books all the time, and
second guy, you asshole. I was buying cowboy books then.
Well, your cowboy books don't count, but so like he would tell me, he's like, dude, I look for stuff that has like, hasn't been sold in like 10 years. And I try to buy it, and then I make my own price. I go triple the amount that it was back in the day, or whatever the thing. I just set it at a high price, and it sells eventually.
I was trying to buy a Red Dragon 7. I didn't realize that it was the highest graded, and it was way out of my price range. But the guy who was pricing it, that's what he did. He was like, well, I paid this amount in this year, and then I'm going to use a multiplier based upon what I paid. And I was just like, I don't have enough money to buy a Subaru comic book for cash right now, but thank you. I'm going to go back to with the other poor people over here. It was very nice to make your acquaintance, kind sir.
That's so low-key. I love that comment.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
So low-key, am I your Better Call Saul? I love it.
I mean, and that's the other thing. It's like people. I mean, during the pandemic, but it's like people buying Jordan rookies right now. It's like if you have 20 grand laying around, I mean, you're probably in better financial shape than everybody else. But it's like the problem is who has that. Even if you're wealthy. I'm not talking like the 1%ers, billionaires, Elon Musk guys. But it's like how many normal people who are kind of rich still have like 30 grand just laying around in their bank account. Usually a lot of people invest their money into other things, and trying to get 30 grand liquidity really quickly. It's like,
if I have 30 grand liquidity, my wife's getting that kitchen she wants, breaking my legs. So I try and keep our liquidity less than that.
See,
honey, we can't afford no kitchen.
That's right. So I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, it's like trying to get that much money, and it's like, if you put it on a credit card, that's another thing. But I mean,
I don't play on the credit cards with comics, man.
Well, not 30 grand.
That's
but
dangerous ass game. Listen, you could have done it a few years ago and lived pretty free, and fucking everything's going up.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you are fucking living on a razor blade, my friend.
Yep.
I don't crazy to do something that.
This is a discussion I wasn't going to have, but man, I don't think I could buy a Silver Age key right now. It scares the piss out of me. Bronze Age scares the piss out of me.
Why? Say
because it. The people that have these books tend to be the older collectors. Not to say that none of the younger do, but there's a lot of older collectors of these books. And if you're, 60, 65, and all of a sudden your freaking 401k is shit, what do you got liquid? Copies of these books you've had for 40 years, and it isn't going to take a ton to come to the market of the percentage.
Because there's a ton of them.
There's a ton of them. It scares me.
But they're selling. They are right now. You can get really good deals.
But if you're an old guy, I'm telling you right now, if you're an old guy, and I hate to say it, like if you're an old guy right now in the 60, 65 range where you're just about to retire, and because everyone, unless you pulled out, which a lot of people don't do, the only thing pulls out is my couch. B is when you go around and your 401k dropped, 20, 30%. I mean, people from January 1 to April now, people have lost tens of thousands of dollars in their 401k. Like,
if I'm 65 and I have
I'm dying.
If I am 65 and I still have my comics and I haven't traded them for heroin and lobster tails, I want to be dead. By that point, I do not need fucking comics. Like that's what the hell are people doing with their comics at that age? I'd be selling that shit.
But that's the thing is, I fear that there are so many sitting in these long-term collectors' hands that it wouldn't take a lot of them to go. The baby boomers are the biggest generation for a long time. And if they let go, it scares me, man. I don't know. It may not happen. Maybe fucking fine. We could look back 5 years from now and go, Jon Z is a fucking idiot, and they tripled in value every 2 years. And he's a moron.
I think I hate to say
it's not where I'm putting my money, and it scares me.
I think the baby boomers are fine, though. I really do. I mean, unless you, I mean, most baby boomers had pensions, right? Most baby boomers had pensions. It's us. It's the people after that and us who are never going to get pensions. But I think with pensions and Social Security, I think they're fine. I mean, as long as you played your life right, obviously. I mean,
we got the internet.
Yeah, we got the internet. We traded pensions for internet, but I mean,
Rag, I don't want to get into political debate. I just don't think we're past the worst of this, my friend.
Yeah.
We'll see.
This next one, Nico, is fucking gorgeous.
Oh, that's
Gorgeous.
fucking amazing. book.
Gorgeous.
An old label.
Amazing.
There were some old
Batman.
label books I was looking at.
Yeah,
I
Batman.
knew you'd be excited, guys. I knew you would be.
CGC 7.0, Batman number 25, sold for $1,576.
So here's the writing, the elephant in the room on this one. It's an old label, right? Do you have? I wouldn't even crack it myself. Would you let CGC crack it and press it? Because I'm sure that book wasn't pressed.
I'd look at it. Who knows?
Depends on what it looks like, right?
Yeah. I mean,
you can't assume an old label's good.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, for the
Why would
majority
you
of them,
take a chance pressing a book like that? I mean,
you never know. I mean,
It depends on what it looks like. There's the right book that'll jump fucking 3 grades.
well, and B, I mean, you always got to worry about Golden Age books and the staples. You don't want
That's a pretty book, though.
Yeah, it is.
that's
I mean, we're not zoomed in, but man, it is. It's
The fire looks real.
Yeah.
On this size.
great point.
Yeah. Gorgy, right? I need to be happy. Okay. 202 blue labels on the census.
It's not bad.
February of this year, a 7.5 sold for $2,600.
Mm-hmm.
October of 2018, an 8.0 sold for $3,360.
I would have to look who the seller is and know that they don't press, though, because that's the thing is you have to. Every people wants to play this old label game. It's a guarantee. It's not. A lot of people playing in this kind of dollar market know to evaluate should have been pressed, because there's some that
People have been pressing books for 40 years.
there's some that either were pressed or just happen to be flat, man.
Yep.
Here's the old.
Yeah.
Remember I showed off the old press? What was for my grandma?
Dude, I know a guy that told me about that shit, man. Hold on, somebody pull that down.
There.
He literally said he used an iron and they would flatten the whole book, and then they would then re-bend it. And I'm like, oh my god, really? He's
They take the staples out.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you talk to guys like different people, it's interesting. I always ask people who press books like how they pressed, and it tells me like who taught them, right? Because there's a whole group that does the seals, a whole group that does the t-shirt presses. Then there's like the people that do what you're talking about. They take the freaking staples out and they press those books flat as can be.
And then they refold them.
They refold them. Yeah, it's fascinating, like who does what and how they do it, and it tells you like how long they've been doing, or like how long the person who taught them has been doing it. And ask people like, how many presses do you have? That's always an interesting question.
I have one. It's a panini press, though. It works. I mean,
my man.
Makes a great sandwich.
I'm trying to get. I try to pam up the book as much as possible, so it gives me that nice crust, but it just doesn't work out that much. I don't know. I'm trying.
I've been using a George Foreman with no luck.
Nice.
Listen, I don't care to press books, man.
I don't either. I know guys. I mean, okay. So I don't want to start a internet flame war with this, but a lot of people are getting into pressing. A lot of people saying, I guess it depends. Like, I don't think people are pressing Golden Age books, but moderns I heard aren't that hard to do. You know what I'm saying? From a lot of people, like once you get into, once you get a couple test books down, it's not terrible. But
I don't think that's true. I think there's different types of paper, different types.
Yeah.
Of ink.
Well, no. I mean, when you get crazy like that, but if you're pressing modern books, like books that came out today,
I'm talking even. Okay, today, yes, but even 2012 till now, there's different strategies for different books. And I don't care to learn them. I mean, Trey would have taught me if I wanted to learn. Sean would probably tell me, I don't care to learn. I will send them my books and pay a few bucks and be happy. I
don't have a clean room. That's the other problem, man. It's just like, I have cats and stuff. My luck, a hair would get in there, and it's just like, man, I was like, I'm not going to dedicate a whole room to be a clean room, and like,
Dennis says I will pay somebody to let Paul press some books.
Oh, dude, I would love. We should make an episode of that. Just get him a press. I'll buy him a cheap press and have him press books and see how it works out. I'll buy dollar books. I don't even care.
That is quality TV, man. Oh my god.
Is
Paul here?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
We need you to drink later next week, man.
Yeah, I was sorry. I tapped it earlier today. Sorry.
The children drove him to drink at noon. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Lord of mercy.
I love that book though.
I'm not gonna press.
But don't assume an old label means you can press it. Yes, it has a high chance. But if you're betting online, man, you better have a good view of it.
I wouldn't. No, like you said, I wouldn't go in saying like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't go in saying like, oh, I'm gonna buy this book because I can press it. Like you said, I would look at it.
No, but I mean, somebody in the chat said an old label 7's an 8.5. Not every time, my friend. Okay. It's a gamble. I got a primer 2 9.6. I look at it, it's still 9.6 to me. It ain't going anywhere. I've had some Golden Age books. I got a Golden Age Marvel Family 1 5.5. I look at it, the press would fix some things, but it's still going to come back a 5.5 because there's a spine split. Not every book is going to go up. Don't listen to that.
Well, it could be a good day. It could have been a good day too on that book, and the
other thing is you can have non-color breaking subscription creases that you can't see in pictures on like these crazy old books.
Oh, you have some pretty good stories on that.
I got real lucky, dude. Real lucky with 2. It was just crazy.
They pressed out?
Absolutely.
It's so scary, the technology and stuff that we can do today with these presses, man.
Yeah, well, be real scared about the restoration.
Good artisan. A good artist.
Be real scared about the restoration. It's the thing that keeps me up, like scratching my head at night. What they do now is they pulp books that have the same paper, right, tone, so that they can match the tone, the paper tone, when they do the resto. It's legitimately becoming like a science and an art to detect seriously top-notch restoration, and I think third-party grading and true professionals that are truly skilled are going to be increasingly important to maintain some objectivity in the market.
Well, you had Barack on your previous show and did an interview, and he even said, listen, I'm very, very good, but I can't detect 100%. I might get 99, but
yeah, and he's talking about trimming, which is fatal, right? Like we looked at that 1.0. You as soon as you saw it, you're like, dude, it's trimmed and it's got a married centerfold. I mean, it's like the kiss of death. And
but I mean,
Barack's admission that sometimes you can catch it, sometimes you can't. It took me by surprise, and that level of honesty from him, I think, was both refreshing and sobering.
Well, because we'll see people that do these shows of submitting the same book to 3 companies, even though there's only really 2 that I give a shit about. But listen, the right guy, the right day, the right angle, the right light might make the difference.
I mean,
these guys that do the high end work, man.
I mean, I bought a Mobile Spotlight 5 first Ghost Rider, and it had on the R a little color touch. I didn't see it. I mean, me and Paul were there. It was in Ohio. And I submitted it and came back restored, and I was like, fuck. I mean, but it only bumped it a grade down when I took the restoration off. So, I mean.
There's these guys that are playing the game. Well, we talk about the card game, too. These guys doing it at the high level where we're talking thousands of dollars for one item. They're artists. I mean, art fraud is for real. When there's real money in something, people get very, very, very good at what they do.
Yeah, what are you going to try to like fake a Picasso? No, you'll fake some AF-15s.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, like you're looking for the easy marks.
Yep.
I'm not trying to, if I'm an art cheat, like I'm not trying to cheat, some high-end buyer for the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
They're coming after me. I'm their dummy, right? Someone like me. I think it's all very important and interesting, and we could do a whole show on that kind of stuff. But
why do you think that these books are going so low right now? You think it's just pure luck? What do you think what's the deal?
I think it's
there's a lot of oddball shit out, man. A lot of stuff you don't see.
Do you think it's because some of the buyers don't even have eBay, like those old school guys that would swipe it up? just are used to the only face-to-face?
No, I think we've talked about there's just more out there. So, I mean, if you used to have, let's say, 100 of these books a week going, and there's 500, some are going to slip through the cracks. Even if it's 200, there's more volume going.
Well, and the other thing is, remember, it just takes one down sale to change the market.
It could be an eBay guy who's never been on eBay who does a weird auction at fucking Thursday at noon or some shit.
Oh, those were all Sunday auctions.
Yeah.
Those are primetime Sunday Golden Age auctions. Now, here's what's interesting, though. We already saw the price for Captain Marvel 17 second print. It's the new normal. It's an $1,100 book.
For a while, yeah.
For a while. And, so it's very interesting for me, like, while my sales are stellar right now, like I'm like flabbergasted. They've been so good. I think we're finally starting to see the hits in these big dollar number books.
But you got to remember, there's different classes of buyer, different levels of buyer. And so let's say you're an average Joe and maybe you still have a job because you're an essential worker. You're still buying as normal. Let's say you're an average Joe and don't have a job. That $1,200 stimulus check helped you or your family, and you're still kind of living normal. The guys that are out of the market and different are like, let's say, dentists and doctors doing elective surgery, plastic surgeons.
It's interesting.
They just lost 6 months or 6 weeks of income. They're probably trying to pay their staff. These guys that are $500,000 a year type makers,
the big whales,
just lost 10 to 20% of their year. And these are the guys buying these $1,000, $2,000 books for the most part. It's not, it's not your average Joe saving up and buying one book every 2 years.
And I'll go back to my statement. Those guys who own their own, those plastic surgeons own their own buildings and stuff, they still got to pay the rent, man. Like it's not.
We all assume the economy's killing, the low end guys. Yes, there's a lot of blue collar workers getting screwed.
It's your solid NBA guys, man. It's just like we talk about every sports athlete, right? Living on $1 million a week or $1 million a month or whatever, and then all of a sudden their playing career goes and their checks aren't coming in, and you're not readjusting your lifestyle. It's like when you start living that lifestyle,
This is something a dentist never prepares for.
No,
their teeth stopping to be bad.
Yeah. It's almost like coiners, man, like funeral home people. I mean, people didn't die. I mean, it's something you just never think of. It's like I'm in a safe profession. That's like it's like taxes, right? I mean, still got to do it every year. It's like
so there's a lot of people in this income bracket where I don't think the $1 million books are going to go too low. It's this point in the high middle where somebody that loses a month or two of income, oh shit, that screws them. That's their comic buying budget on. They'd buy a key. So,
yeah, I'm still just blown away by that fucking Batman book.
It's gorgeous, right?
Yeah, beautiful. Well, so if you guys haven't seen it, make sure you guys go check out the 300 special issue by or special show by GCS Global Comic Safari.
This is the promo for part 2, which is gonna go live tomorrow, probably evening. I'm a little behind on editing, so it'll be tomorrow evening. So check that out. I do want to throw one other thing to a friend of the show, a friend of us. Well, I'll show one more thing. If you've not checked out 3 Comic Monty, Skull covers was the episode that came out last Friday. We're gonna do underwater covers next week. Check it out. It's a couple of guys from the site doing theme covers. We pick our favorite 3 from our personal collection and share them. So, I'll throw some foreign out there, some Golden Age, some moderns. We got Peter Renna throwing some dollar digging type books in. Even Ben C shows up for this show. So if you're wondering if Ben C and Ben S are the same guy, check it out. And I just want to share one thing that I love.
Wait, they're different guys?
They are definitely different guys. Yeah. Even though they never show up together. This is just me throwing a personal love item out. This piece of art, combining Pokemon and Where the Wild Things Roam, is our friend Mark Marmero from Wonder Mark on IG. He's got an Etsy store. This print to me is fucking amazing.
Fire.
Gorgeous.
Almost two generations of like pop culture into one piece. Check it out. If you're interested, check it out on his Etsy store. I'll post a link in the comments. It's like, buy something cool, man. This is a good guy doing good art. Buy something cool, hang it on your wall. If you got a kid, hang it on his wall because he'll love it. So,
and I'll add you. Mark's on the Discord server, so if you guys want to check him out, talk to him. He's even on the Discord server. So.
I will put a link in the bio, but I love that guy, and that's a fantastic piece of art.
Hey, when are you going to do a 3-comic Monty on shark covers?
I would need a 50 comic Monty. I've told you I'm going to do. My youngest is going to do a.
I think that's cool.
This week.
Yeah,
That's
without a question will be the best new series on the flip side.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Is he going to do all the editing and graphics? Because it's going to be fire if he does it.
Well, no, that's the other kid.
Oh.
We've already discussed the middle kid just edited a video, and I'm like, well, he's 10 times better than me. The younger kid's probably way more able to watch. So I'm going to farm myself out and just be the co-host.
That's right.
Like I do in Global Comic Safari. I've learned I'm a good helper.
Dude, Z just cracked the Matrix.
Yep.
Another thing that we want to talk about, you guys, make sure you're subscribing. We've got a lot of content. I mean, basically, we've got content all week, and we have shows that are just really good shows that are coming up on the network and that are on right now. And usually Wednesday or Thursday, there's some type of sports card thing going on. So
Yep, I'm trying.
make sure you guys like and subscribe and check out the other shows. Sundays, we got Vintage Voyage. We've got, of course, Flipside on Mondays. Tuesdays, we've got Global Comic Safari. Fridays, we've got 3 Comic Money and Hot 10. And Saturdays, we've got some extra fun stuff coming soon. So make sure you guys subscribe. Anything else? What do you guys got tonight?
That's it, man. That's a great show. Good talking to you guys.
Yeah. So hell yeah, guys. We appreciate everybody. Let us know what you think of the show. Also, we love the comments live, but also let us know what you think of the show in the comments on the YouTube section. Let us know if you want to see anything different or interesting, and give us some ideas. Other than that,
For example, I've been suggesting that we do more photos of Paul in different outfits.
We can do that.
All fashion show. Yes.
It can be done.
Hansel is so hot right now.
Once we get the super chat, we can fund my Walmart shopping sprees.
Everybody, you know what's funny? A new cosplay when we go back to con.
Subscribe now.
It's going to be Paul. The new cosplay is going to be Paul.
Oh my God, Paul cosplay.
Paul cosplay.
God, that would be awesome.
Hashtag it right now. You want to get on Instagram? Here's a new challenge. Paul's cosplay.
And the winner isn't going to be based on how good you look. It's going to be how smooth your swoosh sounds when you walk in your costume.
Nice.
Oh my God.
If I owned a con, I would definitely do this.
All right. On that note, we're out of here. Later, guys. Thanks for joining us.